Good morning. What an awesome day and great news to wake up to. Thank you so much to everybody who follows the Game on Australia Facebook page and also us on Twitch as well, because I have been inundated with, hey, have you seen the news? Super Nintendo Entertainment System. We've got such an awesome community, including my wife as well, who sent me a Facebook message saying, hey, by the way, SNES Mini Classic, it's up and running. So a little bit earlier, late last year, little bit earlier. Late last year, this little thing was released. Essentially, it is a retro Pi 3 in a wicked-looking Nintendo Entertainment System box, released officially by Nintendo, and that's why we love it. Gamers and collectors, you know where I'm coming from. So this is the NES Mini Classic, right? Retailed for $99.95. Without an AC adapter and without a spare controller as well. Had to buy this, had to buy the AC adapter, around about $130 worth by the end of it. The cool thing that everybody lost their minds over was they decided to include 30 games, and they were 30 of the best games that the system ever released. Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3. There's Pac-Man, Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania, the Final Fantasies, Kirby's Adventure, Donkey Kong, a few Legend of Zeldas. So yeah, really awesome stuff. Well done, Nintendo. Everybody lost their minds, sold out. Every time there was a new update, it would sell out in just seconds yet again. It was terribly hard to get your hands on one of these. But look, I would say take that with a pinch of salt, because a couple of months down the track, there were more releases, and all of a sudden, the people who paid $500 on eBay realized they didn't have to if they were just patient a little bit. Anyway, we move on. The reason why we're talking about this is because we've got a big announcement, and that is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System is being re-released as a Classic Mini as well. We kind of had whispers, especially a little while ago when there was news that Nintendo in Japan actually released details, schematics were leaked, and also the fact that they had trademarked and copywritten Super Nintendo Entertainment Classic Mini, or the Super Famicom, as it's known in Japan, Classic Mini, which means that eventually we were going to get one. And also, you know, the success of this had to have meant that we were going to get one. Anyway, as you can see, Nintendo Classic Mini, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, so many details released this morning, and keep watching this video. I'll have details for you on price, and also where you can buy them, and also the release date as well, when you're going to be able to go and pick them up. So, yeah, let's go through this. Have a look at this. You know, there you go. Fits in the palm of your hand, much like the Nintendo Entertainment System Mini. But the box. This is the coolest part. Don't get me wrong, there's great games which we'll go through in a sec, plus a massive addition to the games which is mind-blowing. But the box is actually, what I love about it is the packaging is incredibly similar, if not just about bang on, to the original Super Nintendo Entertainment System packaging. And there's something for a Nintendo traditionalist that just speaks to the soul. But as you can see, the really cool thing is where this thing only had one controller on the front and you had to buy a spare, the packaging shows two controllers, and it's been confirmed this Super Nintendo Entertainment System Nintendo Classic Mini will come with two controllers, so you don't have to buy a spare. The only thing is, if you're thinking to yourself, okay, two controllers for $99.95. No, it is going to cost you about $118. I know at JB Hi-Fi it's pre-selling now for $119, sorry, and at EB Games it's pre-selling for $118. So, you know, things to have a look out there. But yeah, that's the really cool thing. You're going to have to buy the AC adapter. It'll probably cost you about $15. Simple as that. Or you might have one just lying around at home. The other really cool thing we've got to go through is the games. 21 classic Super NES games, alright? Obviously bigger games, they're probably using pretty similar hardware and memory to the Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Mini, and this one had 30 games on it, but 21 classic Super NES games, and these are good Super NES games as well. Wow, look at that. Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart. This was the first Super Mario Kart. This is the one that I don't know, it launched me into buying every Super Mario Kart since then. Legend of Zelda's in there, F-Zero's in there, Super Metroid is in there, Punch-Out is in there, Street Fighter 2 is in there. That's huge news. Yoshi's Island, which to this day is still one of my favorite games, Mega Man X, Donkey Kong Country, one of Rare's most incredible side-scrolling platformers. So yeah, there's a lot to love with this, and it's definitely worth the 120 odd bucks for it. Most of these games, if you find them these days still in their packaging, they'll cost you $200-300, let alone what you'll buy for a Super Nintendo for. So this is really, really well done. The crazy thing is, the mind-blowing thing is, the real surprising thing is this. For the first time ever, play the never-before-released Star Fox 2. Now, the crazy thing about this is that Star Fox 2 was, as it mentions, never released, right? We were never actually meant to get this game. But this game here was actually completed. We just never saw it. 1995. So I'm just going to bring up a little bit of information that I uncovered about Star Fox 2 a little while ago and just take you through it. So just a bit of the actual gameplay as well. The original Star Fox, we saw Andros getting defeated. Well, he happens to return to the Lilat system, as you'd expect. All-out attack against Corneria. New fleet of battleships. Giant missiles launched from hidden bases to destroy the planet. General Pepper calls again for the Star Fox team to help, armed with new custom R-Wings. Okay, so we're going to see brand new R-Wings, a mothership, 2 new recruits as well. Mayu, a lynx, and Faye, a dog. So we're getting a lynx and a dog added to the team. It's really exciting. I love that. So we're going to see 6 playable characters. And also, in terms of what actually happened way back when, as I mentioned, it was meant to be released in 1995, US summer of 1995, so our winter here in Australia. And they never disclosed the official reason for its cancellation, but the Star Fox 2 programmer Dylan Cuthbert shared those reasons. It was fully completed, he says. I was the lead programmer, and while Giles made Stunt Race FX, myself and the rest of the original Star Fox team, Nintendo's artists and designers, expanded Star Fox into a full 3D shooting game. The reason for non-release was the then impending Nintendo 64, which of course was intended to be released a lot sooner than it actually was. Miyamoto decided he wanted to have a clean break between 3D games on the Super NES and 3D games on the new superior 64-bit system, the Nintendo 64, which of course came out 1996, late 1996. So, as he mentions here, in retrospect, could have released Star Fox 2, and there would have been over a year and a half in between those releases. So, you know, hindsight, I guess, is 2020. He goes on to say that the thinking was that if Nintendo released another 3D game on the Super Nintendo, then it would be compared with the PlayStation 1, and the quality was completely different. Of course, back then, the quality of the PlayStation 1, also running on discs, the new technology, it was far superior to anything at the time that Super Nintendo had put out, or that Nintendo had put out. Star Fox 2 was disappointing, but I could understand the reasoning. The PlayStation and Saturn, that's Sega, had come out and were obviously superior to the Super FX chip. Considering the rivalry between Sony and Nintendo, I could see exactly where they were coming from. So, yeah, we never got a chance to see this, but hey, here we are, 95, 05, 15, 22 years later, and we're finally getting this game in a nice, neat little package. So yeah, Star Fox 2, as well as all of those. Now, the final details that you need to know, obviously, where can you get them? I've pre-ordered mine, and it's strictly 1 per customer, which I kind of had a feeling was coming, considering how popular the NES Mini Classic was, and how people generally lost their minds and got a little bit rabid about it. Strictly 1 per customer. So far, here in Australia, you can get them from EB Games. The pre-orders are still up as we speak. It is 9:45 on the 27th of June. Okay, 9:45 in the morning here in Perth. So do the math for the rest of the country. Also, JB Hi-Fi, I have seen the pre-orders. I haven't seen pre-orders so far for Target, who are trying to position themselves as also one of the bigger players in gaming here in Australia. So I'm just going to put in Super NES, Super Nintendo at the Target store. Nothing so far. Let's put in SNES. Nothing. Okay, so target.com.au. Haven't got anything yet. Big W's another one that do a little bit of gaming. They've got a big toy sale on at the moment. Let's see if there's an announcement. Let's put in Super NES. No, let's put in SNES. No, let's put in Super Nintendo. No, nothing. Okay, so Big W and Target, there's nothing from them yet, but they are a little bit late when it comes to this sort of stuff, obviously, because they're following the bigger guys. So it wouldn't surprise me if you just keep across their Facebook pages over the next couple of days and their Twitters. There'll probably be an announcement. If not, at some stage today anyway. They'll want to get on this. They'll want those sales. So yeah, JB Hi-Fi and EB Games so far are your best bet. Release date is September 30. All right, that's if you go and pick it up. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait a couple of days if you actually get it shipped out to you. And like I said, the price is going to be $118.95 so far from EB Games, $119 from JB Hi-Fi. You know, what's 5 cents? And then you're probably going to have to buy the AC adapter on top of that as well. But the cool thing is, 2 controllers with it. So yeah, wow, that's pretty much it. Make sure you go and get yours because this is definitely one to have, if not just for the fact that we get to play Star Fox 2 finally, but also because, man, 2-player Super Nintendo Entertainment System, these games are going to be so cool to play. Mega Man X, I'm really looking forward to. Donkey Kong Country is just going to take me back something chronic. It's going to be great. Super Mario World is the one with Yoshi, and Yoshi's Island is in there as well. Super Mario Kart, as I mentioned, Super Metroid, yeah, just super everything. Super job, Nintendo. Street Fighter 2, yes, amazing. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. Please share this around to people that need to know this information, that want to get themselves the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Mini. Make sure you check out the Game on Australia Facebook page and also on Twitch. Subscribe to us there. We're doing a lot of great gameplay content so far. Fair bit of Overwatch. And check out episode 38, the latest episode of the Game on Australia podcast. And don't forget, episode 39 will be coming out this week. And you'll also be able to hear it on your domestic and international flights for Qantas and Jetstar. And finally, we'll do a full wrap in words at the website, gameonaus.com, which will have the dot points of everything that you need to know. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for supporting the Game on Australia company. We appreciate your time. Catch you soon.